morning, guys. A good, great morning to all of those who tuned into the realest thing in the world, coming to you from Guyana. Here. This is the real thing. This morning, we're going to be interacting strictly through the comments because I'm using the phone this morning. But, you know, I think we should have a nice discussion. A good, great morning to all of those who tuned in. We had a problem to get some of the staff over here this morning. But I want to discuss something, and you know, a lot of times it's been like today is day 7 for the smelly smell issue, and we have to continue with this to get clarity. But we also have to do some introspection from time to time. Well, today, for those of you who don't know, is today's an independence holiday. It's a holiday as a result of Guyana's independence. And normally when a holiday falls in a weekend, the morning taboo, the administration gives a holiday on the Monday, right? Mondays. I personally feel we got too many holidays in this country, especially a fastly growing and developing country. We got too much holidays. But the powers that be see different things. So let me go through the comments. Very blessed morning. So anything we're discussing, you guys can call you and gotta talk on the messages, and I'll try to make sure I'm reading the messages. Azam, good morning to you. Joseph, good morning to you. Debbie, good morning. Indrani, good morning. Yogesh, Vinny, good morning. So, as you know, it's public. I've been going through a lot. I've been having a lot thrown at me in recent times. And at some point in time, it's very easy. It's very easy for someone like myself get carried away with what's going on in my life because of the fact of my success. Because I'm successful at what I do, and I'm in that success, it's difficult to know if you're failing. Very difficult for somebody who's successful. It's till you fail. So failing, sometimes it's till you fail, then you realize. Like, recently I would have started reading. I haven't read for a few months. I haven't gone to the gym. Going on to 2 months now. I drank recently, got stoned out of my mind. That is the reality of what's going on in my life. You guys sit back. Now there are people, opposition members, people in the government too, who are deliberately doing things to try to bring me down. These are matter of facts. You got people out there, and most people say Critic, you got a lot of haters. I love the haters. Because I am guaranteed I know what they're about. I know what these people are about. If people hate you, you know exactly what they're about. When people love you, you're not too sure. You could be trusting to them, and then that love changes and they stab you in your back. Right? So, I'm talking about this because it applies to all of our lives. And a lot of us get carried away. So only 2 months ago, I was reading. I felt full in control of my life. I was bam, bam, bam and everything. I wake up in the morning, I stretch, I go to the gym, I exercise. I was in full control of my life. Day before yesterday, I felt I was in full control of my life. But then I did some introspection. And I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, you don't read anymore. What did reading do for me? Reading edified me. Reading was invigorating for me. Reading afforded me the opportunity of knowing more and becoming more within myself. So I stopped reading. There's something I'm losing there. What did not drinking do for me? Not drinking kept me sharp. Physically, it was good for me. There was so much benefits from being clear and not being subjected or subjecting myself to a substance. More in control of my life. I started drinking. So again, another shortcoming within. In the midst of that, there have been quite a bit going on around me. Bear in mind, I am listing the internal shortcomings of my own. I've not gone on to list, because this is my life, this is how I'm affected. I've not gone on to list the external issues that deliberately affect me. Like the people who are paying people. A man pay, you imagine a human being pay somebody to throw more water in one of my truck tank? While the staff was getting money paid by someone to give someone an audio to bring me down, they were also throwing things in my fuel tank to bring me down physically. Now, bear in mind, this is external. This is going on. I know I'm bringing down myself from within. I stop reading. I start drinking. I allow even people around me to affect me negatively under the premise that they care, and because normally I have control of every. I say, here, this is what you're going to do, this is how you're going to do it, this is what I want done, this is how I want it done. And now if you're experiencing this in your life, you got to do introspection, because you can't know. Like at my stage, nobody's going to tell me, nobody's going to say, Critic, you're fudging up. Nobody says, Critic, you fudge. Everybody's reserved about what they're saying, because they too are experiencing my success. So they calculate. We're not sure. We're not sure if it's success or failure we're seeing. But it's not necessarily failure, but slipping failure is not necessarily success. It's not success, it's not failure, it's slipping success. And I sit down and I think and I say, I wonder how many more people are affected like this. Because recently what I was doing, I don't answer my phone right away in the morning. I wake up in the morning, I stop using my phone an hour before I go to sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, I don't go to the phone. I go to the washroom and I start reading. All of that, I'm on my phone constantly, drinking. Wow. I stopped. I stopped. And I did some introspection over the weekend. Because I took the whole of yesterday trying to recover from something I did on Friday night. Went out and drank and had a nice time. Well, suggestedly a nice time. It's not necessarily a nice time for me anymore because of how I feel, because of where I am in the world today. And as a result of that, I took yesterday, all day yesterday, Saturday and yesterday, trying to recover. I'm sharing this with you because you mightn't be afforded the opportunity, like me, to know where you're going wrong and when you're going wrong. Don't get caught up in the fray. And you're living this with me, where you saw me get caught up in the fray. I have to continue to fight, to highlight the issues and bring people's issues to the forefront. I'm the only person available in this country that does that. Other people purport to be the helpers. But the information, the clarity that I put out there or bring to information that is put out there is second to none. That is a matter of fact. I'll give respect to people who do whatever they do, in what capacity they do it. But I too have to look at me. And you know what happened this morning? I woke up this morning and I started to read a book. This is by Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. An antidote to chaos. I started reading. And when I woke up this morning, I stretched like I did in the past. And then I went to the washroom without going on my phone. And then I said, this morning will be a morning of confessions. What are you doing in your life? Do you know? Can you feel when your life is slipping? While I was in the fray and fighting with people who doesn't know what is the worth of a fight. Imagine I fighting with people who got, or worrying, not fighting, because I have to expose the wrongdoings. But worrying about people who got their fortunes by illegal means. I have to work every day. Imagine going out to build a pump station and build communities in this country, to build a company simultaneously, while Mother Nature and every man under the sun in my line of work is trying to bring me down. Imagine that. I must say, when I say every man, I might have been wrong, because there are a lot of people in the construction industry who assist me. But lots of people in the area would like to see less of me. Imagine getting caught up in that fray. It's madness. After doing some introspection yesterday and think about what I want for my life and where I want to be in life, I gotta reconsider. I even have to reconsider my associations, my relations. Because you gotta ask yourself, what is the purposefulness of people? Some people are just in your life as distraction. Don't get confused. Some people are just in your life. There will be people that will purport to love and care for you, and they're just distractions. Now, why I'm mentioning this is that it's serious. You will have somebody that is in your life that nothing that they do suggest that they're trying to bring you down, but they're bringing you down because it's not synonymous, or it doesn't go hand in hand with your purpose in life. You understand? You will have friends that there, and what they're telling you is not coherent, is not in tandem with what's actually going on in your life. But they love and care for you through ignorance. No, it's not their fault, you know. It's not their fault. They love, these people love, genuinely care for you. But ain't no fortune thing what they're talking about. It is. Listen to me. Here's why it's so difficult to identify. In the mind's eye, you see this. In your mind's eye, you see the issues before you, but you're unwilling to take the steps to rectify them. That is where the real problem lies. Because you know, I'll have to confront these people. I'll have to tell them. You might gotta bring an end to a relationship. And that's me internet here. You might gotta bring an end to friendships. Friendships. Shamir, yes, a lot of people procrastinate when it comes to decision making. But this discussion is not about friendships. This discussion is not about relationships. This discussion is about introspection. I'm telling you, presently, I was going through some experiences. Not failures, because nobody can identify it. It is slipping success. Slipping success. I stopped reading. I stopped doing everything that was good for me. Because I was going into area where when I sought what was good for myself, I felt a little bit grumpy. Because it was new. It was new for me. I had to be more serious. I was very candid about what I was doing, but very serious. And I sit down and, you know how I feel? You know, energized I feel? You imagine having to eat 2 days to recover from something that you did to yourself. Yesterday morning, I went by Orlando to get a soup. You imagine people just be recovering in the hospital from things that happened to them, and I recovering from things that I do to myself? Something seriously wrong there. Something got to be seriously wrong with what you're doing in your life. If you do something to yourself that would cause you to need to recover from it. Now we got to. We do that when we exercising. You tear the muscles and we recover from that. But imagine putting myself in a drunken stupor and having to. That's where I come from. Now I know, but I drink for 5 years straight. But if you're going to be real and honest about where you are and where you want to be, some people want to be that way. But if you do introspection, if you look at yourself, you can realize something is wrong with what you're doing. So this is not the specific relations or how you're affected. This is not the specific issues. This is identifying when you get yourself in a hamster's wheel and you're running around in circles. And there's obviously a lot going on in my life. Recently, we had late payment for staff. All is not perfect in the business. What could have avoided that? Internet is shit here right now, boy. Let me see if I could data. Let's see if the data is gonna be more reliable. Because the internet here. Yeah. Right? So this morning, the discussion is about not only introspection, the realization of the situation internally and externally in your life, but it's acceptance, the overcoming of procrastination or procrastinating as it relates to addressing those issues. Because you got to make the hard decisions. You got to make decisions that you don't want to make. I have reneged and went back on every single thing that I've taken about 7 years to build. I try on some weight, I average about 5 pounds. I drink, I stop reading. Gradually, I was building something. Then I allowed people who have not achieved. Bear in mind, I have allowed people who have not achieved anything significantly in life. You imagine me coming here from nothing? And getting myself entangled with people who were given everything and wantonly wasted, while I try to build or acquire everything from nothing. You imagine what I've gotten myself into? What utter stupidity? that I've become a part of? It's crazy. And just a bit of introspection has afforded me the opportunity to see my shortcomings. Now, bear in mind, me as a man come from nothing and building something. And fighting in general for people and the betterment of people, the development of a country and everything else. Imagine I now get overtaken by a fight. I get entangled with the criminals them. Not just highlighting. I don't ever get in my head. My God. Well, I can tell you, I'm back. And every time I would have encountered pitfalls in my life, when I come back, I'm better. And why am I telling you this? Because you could apply this to your life. And if you're experiencing this, it's not you alone. Sometimes you want to know why you're going in a loop. Why issue after issue is just trying to bring you down. It's not the issues, is you. If you got 10 friends and on a daily basis, in your interaction with your friends, people you consider to be your friends, in your interaction with people you consider to be your friends, you encounter 5 issues, 5 arguments, 5 contentions, 5 shortcomings is identified to you. This is, you got 10 friends, 5 of them good, 5 of them bad. 5 of them not so perfect, not so bad. But on a daily basis, you're having 25 different issues arising from these friendships and these relationships. Wouldn't it be better off to have 5 friends? If you got 10, wouldn't it be better off to have 5? Don't you think there would be a reduction? Don't you think it would be prudent to identify the friends who are more supporting of you and who are more in tandem with your success and your development and your growth, and work with that 5 alone? Other than trying to fight with a set, with everybody and try to sort out things, don't you think it would be better in your life? And how do you know these things? Well, first thing is, we all can't know everything. We're not all knowing. We are not gods. At some point in time, you got to get a better understanding of who you are and what you're about, why you're here, what is your purpose. At some point in time, you got to decide on that. And reading different books, whether it's about psychology, whether it's about financial development, reading different books can enlighten you and take you on a path of enlightenment. So that's one way you could do. There are many people who drink and have been successful in life What I can tell you, in no way, shape, or form, I will be promoting alcohol or any substance abuse. Because although I've had the best of both worlds, I can tell you, being a sober head is the better world to be in. So I'm hoping today you understand the message. In recent times, I have had a number of shortcomings where I've reneged on things that I've been doing to better my future and better myself. What has played a part in that is the distractions around me. Social media, I'm on the phone, and I'm not focusing on the important things. I allow myself to be captured by people who have all the money in the world but are still insignificant. Imagine that. Imagine the stupidity in me. It's like talking about cheese and chalk. I dropped out of high school at the age of 14. Before that, all I knew of is a simple life. I wouldn't say hardships. My mother tried her utmost to give me the best. All I knew of is a simple life. Today I am here, can safely say I'm the realest thing in the world, and have no one be able to bring that down. Imagine in the world, a world of 7 odd billion people, I can profess to be the realest thing. And no matter what people say about me, they can't dispute that. That is what I have built from nothing. Coming through the crab barrel, the shit pen, pig pen, everything, and dragging and crawling to the top, to get embroiled with people who have all the money but have no personality. They are insignificant. You imagine that? Do you imagine that? A man such as myself, who has not have to pay for hate or love, it has been showered upon me. You imagine I get myself in bride with virgin insignificance? I said, what is wrong with you, boy? What is wrong with you? Eh? I'm back. I'm back, don't worry. I'm making the necessary changes to go again. You see, it is not me being deceptive. Like when everybody see me, they can't get what? Critic, on top, you hear things about me, people feel sad for me. I couldn't see it. I've become numb to these things. But not to say I've not been affected, because what other explanation is there for my shortcomings. Let me be factual. What other explanation is there for me not doing what is the best for me than the fact that these people might be winning? Seriously, let's discuss it. Some people want to, no man, you want to say, but when there's a problem, in identifying the problem is 50% of the solution. If I don't identify the problem, like I die in this big fray, and then I'm asking myself, what are you fighting about, bro? Who you fighting with? I came here alone. How can I fight to prove myself as a result of insignificant people? What's insignificant people say about me? Is I decided not to thief. When the one time I go for thief, the boss glass and my hand trembling, is I, Michael Rodriguez, decided I will not be a thief. I will not be a criminal. Only to come and build myself today to answer to man are echoing from somebody, the head of a criminal enterprise. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? I can't. Who you fighting? Who you get yourself in fight with? What am I trying to prove? It's craziness. And I'm telling you, because you could get caught up in this in your life. If me get caught up in front of y'all and they're playing out live and nobody even catch yourself as we're going on. Nobody catch yourself as we're going on. I build me and come here. So as somebody said, I fight to myself. Not to say there is no need for a fight. But if one does not understand the context of the fight, then there is no purpose. There can or will not be a decisive plan, roadmap to that fight. And in the fray, that fight will be lost. And first and foremost, out of all things, I have to fight for me first. And make sure the other fights that are brought to me are on the back burner. Likewise, you have to fight for you first. And the fights that are brought to you, the external fights, should be put on the back burner and dealt with last. Like the fight that constantly developed myself. That is a fight worth taking on every day. The fight to better myself physically. That is a fight worth every moment of your life. Because in proper sleeping time is a fight for better health. When the body really regenerates itself. So even in sleep, sleeping properly, sleeping on time, sleeping for sufficient time, even in sleep is fight for your betterment. That is what we constantly got to do. The personal fight should take the front burner. And what I did recently is escaped my personal fight and went on to the external fights, of which I can't control. They will keep coming in my life. As a result of who I am, this atmosphere, this aura that I give off, it creates an atmosphere around me of resentment from people who wish to be like me. We gotta work for yourself first. And why I share with you? Because it's done, like I wake up this morning, I do some bam, stretch, start doing my stretches for the bed and all that. And I think, and I start, conceptualizing my head, listen to me, I need less of this, I need less of that. I want too much of talk here with this, you understand? Looking at the people who I got, it's better get rid of everybody and start from fresh. How do you apply this to your life? You might be experiencing, like here was me thing. You know this thing play out in, maybe we'll watch it anymore. The Critic is back. Critic is... I left myself undone. And get caught up in the fray. You imagine me? No, it needs to be addressed. The criminal prince and smelly smell them, and so it needs to be addressed. But I wasn't just addressing, I get caught up in it. You imagine having a face-to-face or a real worry about someone that if not for money, they would have been insignificant. You imagine having a real worry about someone who's an immigrant who's struggling, their own life, their own issues. Talk about becoming lost within yourself. And this played out because people are looking at me as this strong part and talking to the Critic got this and they like the war and everybody enjoying themselves. And I realized the only body losing is me. And the only thing I'm losing is me. It's like this morning I read a few pages of this book. And it's the foreword, right, of the book. And I'm now going to the overture. And it's been so enlightening. I say here, I wonder how many more people are unaware of their slipping success from within. How many more people having these issues in their life but don't know? You see, fortunately for me, every once in a while, I put a lot of thought into what I'm doing, where I'm going. So fortunately for me, I could do some introspection. And this is what you need. I think the word of the day should be introspection. This is what you need in your life. Like I used to, one of the things I did, and I felt really in tune with my life. An hour before you go to bed, come off the phone. Come off the phone. When you wake up in the morning, the phone is not the first thing you want to go to. As long as possible. Because the first thing I do into the morning is, good morning. I just message, good morning. That's about it. But recently I going through all the who not say what we're going through everything. I answer more comments in the last week than I ever answer in 7 years of being the Guyanese Critic. I don't answer, I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't let things worry me. Now, what has happened? I have allowed the external issues to seep into my life and derail my internal progression. You have to ask yourself what that means for you. Right? You got to ask yourself what that means. You might have a nagging partner. You might have a mother who seems supportive. We're talking about the shortcomings. We're not talking about the successes. Because sometimes they come. People might come in your life as knights in shining armor. But if they continue to be there and you continue to struggle for success, refuse their assistance and see what becomes of that. It is their assistance. It is their help, so-called help, might be the holdback in your life. It might be the simple association with them. Might be the holdback in your life. You understand? So the reason I come this morning and giving y'all this message is that too many times you can become easily lost, and this played out. Now, all of me doing this. All of me loyal followers, and because it played out, and nobody catches up with you. Because there are certain things in my life that people don't know. They didn't know that I stopped reading. Maybe I stopped talking about it. But nobody knew that I stopped reading. Last night, I started a course in meta blueprints with Facebook, getting a better understanding of Facebook algorithms. I was the best at understanding Facebook and what likes meant and how the algorithm work and what would be good content. I remember studying and becoming the best at that. That is what has me here today. Now I'm going to go and do some studies and some tests to get me certified. And I sit down and doing it because this is my thing. Studying and making sense out of things that normally don't make sense. So yeah, I've started back my reading. Bear in mind, me being focused is not me being changed. It makes me that more dangerous. So there's a twofold. It's focusing more You see, because I could fight a better fight if I'm in a better place. The external issues now we're going to see a different resistance, because you could address it from a stable viewpoint. You could address it from a more calculative perspective. You understand? So not to say there will be no fight. I am not professing to now turn Pastor Rodriguez. No. I am saying I had my priorities wrong. That is what I'm saying. I had my priorities wrong, and you might have your priorities wrong. So the fight might get more deliberate. The fight might get more intense. The fight is going to be more decisive. But I got to make sure in that fight I am not being derailed. And as Natasha said, if you are equipped to fight back, right? It's getting your priorities right. And I don't know how other people are affected. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because people think Critic got it. But nobody see. Internally, I was unwinding. I can't click. What's wrong with you, boy? It's the other day when I hit rock bottom. My partner called me and said, "Boy, you was drunk." I drink and get drunk. I hit rock bottom. I said, "This is not you." Yesterday, the drinking soup trying to recover from something I caused for myself. I said, "What fucking madness is this?" You imagine having to prescribe to yourself medication as a result of issues that you cause upon yourself? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? You ain't good. It's Barasses now. Who's do that? Hey guys, as you know, they got this saying constantly people post and say if keeping it real was the person, but it is a matter of fact that keeping it real and the realest thing is a person. His name is Michael Rodriguez, better known as the Guyanese Critic. Right? That's a matter of fact. There's not a say or a meme. There's a matter of fact. Many people can call themselves other things. I don't purport to call myself anything else but the realest thing. Right? I can tell you, for those who worry about me and where I'm going and what I'm doing, I'm here to stay. And I'm hoping in building this legacy of mine, I will be able to do so every day while taking you guys on this amazing journey that I call life. I think one of the attributes to a successful life is being able to look back on a daily basis at the journey, no matter what that journey meant, whether this is the addressing of issues, whether it's introspection, whether it's the acceptance of one's faults and shortcomings. I think once you could look back at that every day and say, this is my life. This is how I want to live my life. I think that would be the beginning of great change in your life, no matter who you are. No matter who you are. If you accept certain things, if you accept life for what it is, and decide to take the bull by its horns, your life is going to change, no matter who you are or what is the circumstances you're under in life. I listen to a lot of people talk about their problems. What I don't hear much about is people accepting their shortcomings, their participation in the creation of their problems. Everybody, oh, the government, oh, this body, my mother, my father, everybody has a complaint. And if you look at people who have been successful in life, you would hear the same thing echoing from each and every one of them, is a willingness to accept their shortcomings in the struggles of life, how they addressed issues. If you ask, what wouldn't you do again? What would you advise would you give your younger self? They always have that. And people who fail, if you ask them that question, they can't act. If you ask a failure, what advice would you give your younger self? Not for go link with them, not marry the woman, make a problem with my ex. You wouldn't hear a man or a woman say, be a better partner. Pursue my education. You don't hear them accepting their shortcomings. And I can tell you, in this amazing life that we all have, and this amazing world that we're all a part of, the successes of men never came from their understanding of the world. If Einstein did not accept who he was and pursued that, which made him look like a crazy man to the rest of the world, certain great things would not have been today, and Einstein would not have been Einstein. So today's word is introspection. Peace be with you all. Keep it real.